There is 1 week left in Ventures. Normally I record this video a little sooner, but I forgot. So I'm here today to remind you guys to pick up all of the good stuff before it's gone. And let's just get straight into it. So a little flashbang warning. It is on light mode and I will never apologize. Let's just take a moment for our fallen heroes and item. Okay, that is not working out the way I thought it would. I'm on a newer, bigger monitor and it's hard for mobile, I'm sorry. But Clip left us on October 1st. If you missed her, she's gone, voucher only. Dyer left on October 15th. And Raven, bang and pow, boom, boom, lefty and righty. He's out of here October 29th. So it is really, really important to keep up with the yearly timeline because I can't just make a reminder video every single time something's leaving. I cover it in my daily videos. I try to put down countdowns in the thumbnails. I think I was in Florida for this. I might have forgotten about that. I'm sorry. But yeah, so Clip, Dyer, and Raven are all gone. But thankfully, that's kind of it. Not too many other missing items. Clip's pretty essential for farming. Otherwise, not too bad. Let's go through everything that is going away in order of quests. So this one's a little different than quests. It's kind of something I should probably mention in the llama section. But if you go to... Oh, it's in the people section. Yeah, we all know what I'm talking about. Costume party attendees. You can go and get the jackal launcher. You get one... ever, unless you played in like 2017 or 18 where you got that copy. Good for you. Okay, good for you. But you get one. That's pretty much it. You can't even voucher another one. So if you open up the llamas and get all the stuff, which I'm going to talk about now, you can actually get some of the costume party attendees, and some of us endgame players like to collect them. They are fun. So I want to get like all my squads as the Halloween characters, and that's tricky. That's hard to do. That takes a lot of llama opening. If you want to get a ton of llamas quickly, a little late to be saying this, but you still have time, you can run through dungeons quickly. If you do all the quests and all of the things it asks you to do, if you can't quite do the 140s, maybe you're a lower power level player, that's fine, you can skip those, but you can do it at any power level for every single other quest. You'll get probably 20,000 plus candy, and if you do cram session, which I'm getting ahead of myself, you could get 10,000 gold with that quest as well. We'll get there, but let's go through everything that's available in the llamas first, and then we'll talk about all the event stuff afterwards. So, starting with the Fortnite Mayor's heroes, a lot of these are shop heroes. I want to talk about llama stuff only. This one has confused people. Sentry Gunner Earhart is weirdly in this section, but she comes around in the weekly shop randomly. We see her on average about once a year. I don't know why. Her and 8-Bit Demo are both just loose. I don't know why. 8-Bit Demo, I think, is in the blockbuster section over here. Yeah, I don't know. He just comes around randomly. He doesn't have an event. He's eventless, but explosive ammo cost reduction is kind of a nice bonus, so weird to say, but regardless, the things you can get in the llamas are, I believe, Skull Ranger Ramirez and Jonesy. They both give you a 50% damage bonus. Nice to have. So if these are heroes that you are looking for, you should definitely crack open some llamas while you can. Skull Trooper Jonesy is the exact same thing, and Skull Trooper Ramirez is the exact same thing as Jonesy. So you can see over here, Warcry, 3 extra seconds. Really nice to have if you're running a Warcry build. Those are things you want to look out for. Sarah Hotep, not very exceptional. Dragon Slash energy cost is not exciting. It's not a hero that I would, really feel bad if I missed out. But if you are running a Dragon Slash loadout, you'll find that she's actually important. There's like a break point where Dragon Slash plus Throwing Stars plus Smoke Bomb adds up to like 105 energy or something. But that 30% reduction to the expensive 50 energy Dragon Slash is sufficient enough that it brings it down 15 points, and now you can throw all of your abilities without getting the energy pylon. If all of that was gibberish to you and you're a newer player, I'm sorry. It's very specific, it's very niche, but she can be useful. She's kind of nice. It's kind of a thing. So yeah. Then we've got Lamarai, kind of a nice hero to have. Throwing Star cooldown is a good thing to have. Big correction, Demon Gamer called me out in chat. So Dragon Scourge has 50 plus 30, that's 80. Plus 40, that's 120 energy, and then a 30% reduction to Dragon Slash brings it down to 105. So you can almost throw all of your abilities. There's a 2-second cooldown between spending energy and then beginning to generate it naturally afterwards. So what has thrown me off all this time is Dragon Slash takes about a second to happen. And if you wait 1 extra second, you should generate about 6 energy per second. So then you'll start generating. If you wait 2 extra seconds, then you should get just enough energy back to start using all of your Throwing Stars and Smoke Bombs. So I'm glad I could get that correction in there. Thank you, Demon Gamer, for calling it out. I do record my videos on stream for the most part, so Twitch link down below if you guys ever want to be a part of the fun. But yeah, Llamarai, kind of nice to have if you're doing throwing stars, not an exceptional hero. And Beetlejuice. She is, in my opinion, one of the most important heroes to get from the llamas before the season ends. A 225% damage bonus to pistols and SMGs is huge. I do know that Sledgehammer covers the SMGs and ARs, and pistols aren't the most exciting thing in the game. I get that. However, Beetlejuice is an Outlander, meaning you can phase shift around, which is really good for mobility and really good for reloading with Chaos Agent. We'll get to that. Teddy, really good ability just to have in general. Seismic Smash, better at crowd clearing than you might realize. And you're an Outlander with the anti-material charge, so you can farm while you go. So what I'm saying is Beetlejuice gives you the same damage bonus as Sledgehammer if you're running an SMG, but she has so much utility as an Outlander that she's a really nice hero to have and only available through these llamas. So if you are playing through this season and you haven't quite picked up any of those heroes that I just mentioned, you might want to start cracking open llamas while you still have the chance. Now, in this section down here, 6 feet under, I think this is available in like the shop regularly, so it's not even a rare item to have. And are there, oh, black metal, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, no, don't worry, I'm a professional Save the World YouTuber. I know these things. Where's black metal? Where are they hiding it? Where is the, okay, I found it. I was gonna pause. The Blackout AR, one of the strongest weapons in the entire game. I've posted numerous videos on this. I'll have the description down below filled with links. Blackout AR, that boom, you guys know what I'm talking about. Blackout boom build took over my channel for a while because it's insanely good. Same with the Dirge Song, we'll get to that. Black Drum, it's a pretty good shotgun. I used to rank it in the top 10 in Save the World. Times have kind of changed. I don't seriously favor it, but it's still pretty good. And all of the melees are pretty good. I do have my screen kind of covering it, but Black Blade, I've seen some viable builds with it. There's hope for it yet. AS's Heart, just Sword, I'm sure. And if you are opening those llamas, cracking open any of the things I just mentioned, and you get the costume party attendees, you can get the Jackal Launcher. Let's go through the quests left to right and talk about everything that's still available. Willow, she gives you an ability damage bonus based on missing health. It's not extremely relevant. She doesn't come up that often in my experience, but she is a nice hero to have if you want to go ahead and get them. And all quests are pretty easy. I have been on vacation and playing real life a lot. I have not progressed these quests a lot, and you can rest assured there's nothing new for me in these quests. But Brainstorm is kind of nice for decoy builds, because when the decoy explodes, it freezes everything. And that's a 3-second freeze. So if you're running an optimal decoy build with maximum cooldown, his 3-second freeze is all you need to make it an infinite stall. That's kind of a fun niche build. He's a fun hero to have, and decoy is more relevant than you might think. It's actually a pretty good perk to build around, so something to think about. And the Shooting Star and the Pulse Pounder AR are both exclusively available from this quest and researching straight out of the book. So if you want to get these items without a voucher, then this is the only way to do it. They're not top meta or anything. I've tried to give them everything I can, but they are they are kind of good. All right, they're kind of good. Now, I said I'd get to it. In dungeons, I don't have an easy way to show this, but there are a number of notable heroes. Swamp Knight is one of them. Let's see if I can find him without having to pause. Swamp Knight is kind of fun. You can sort of make an infinite stall build if you're in the lower level zones. It's nothing that's going to carry you to the end game, but he's kind of a nice hero to have. That extra damage versus mist monsters can be useful in very specific situations. There's also Mermonster Ken, who is a hero that is counter synergistic to the typical ways that you would generally want to run a melee build. He gives you a damage bonus based on missing health, which is rarely viable. There are some fun builds where he's kind of nice to have. I've never been impressed by the performance, and it rarely, you know, it's counter synergistic because with Pay the Luna, you want to have a lot of health, and with Totally Rocking Out, you want to be not dead. And if this sticky thing gets my shirt one more time, he's a weird hero to have. There's potentially some viability there. I've never seen it extremely good. Other YouTubers have covered him, and I'm aware of that, but I'm still on the fence about Mermonster. But as this whole video is saying, pick him up while you can, just in case. You don't want to be the guy who's like watching my video, oh my god, Mermonster's way better than I ever realized. I've been shown the light. I've been wrong before, you guys. I've made those videos. You don't want to be the guy who skipped out on Mermonster after that. Chaos Agent, S tier hero, one of the best heroes in the entire game. He's a little tricky to get. Mermonster and Swamp Knight are just quests you can see right away, but Chaos Agent is a little tricky because you have to run the lab. So you do have to run the crypts one time at least. That'll unlock Inferno and the lab. Then once you run the lab, it unlocks a series of quests. I think you have to run it once or twice, and then there's one more page, and then you run it one more time and you get Chaos Agent. I believe that's how that unlocks. I have a 40-second video out there that explains it more thoroughly, but yeah, Chaos Agent is 4 dungeons away, and the lab is a little confusing, but if you run it in a lower power level mission, you should be done in less than half an hour. Less than an hour if you're challenging yourself. I know the lab can be like an 18-minute run if you're really, really lost and you're under-leveled, but it shouldn't be too bad. It shouldn't be too bad at the lowest power level. And as mentioned, Chaos Agent is one of the best heroes in the entire game. I noted him as one of the better reasons that you would want Beetlejuice, because reloading with phase shift, instant reload, I just cracked my knuckle, that is a super, super nice perk to have, and he's really viable. I use him in all my shotgun builds because he's awesome. I did mention this earlier briefly, but Cram Session is available until the end of the season. There is 10,000 gold worth of safe cracking quests here. It's really, really nice. If you don't know how to find safes, that's fine. I have a very clear guide on exactly where to get them in the Inferno dungeon. You are going to have to run the crypts once, but if you did that to get Chaos Agent, it should be right here. Inferno, you just run it 10 times. Running it itself 10 times should get you about, 1,000 gold, and then all the safes throughout. Yeah, it's pretty easy. You can knock that out in an hour and a half if you're going quick. My video, clickbait's like 2 hours, but you could do it in under an hour if you know what you're doing. It's a lot of gold for a very short session. So there you go. That's all the quest stuff that I wanted to mention. All the stuff that, of course, hasn't left. We've covered all of the llamas. And now lastly, I'm going to talk about the most important stuff in the event shop. And then I'm going to go through everything bit by bit. I kind of mentioned it earlier, but the Dirge Song. This thing is nuts. So there was a nerf, correction sort of, to Fallen Love Ranger Jonesy. He was the main hero we used as an engine for getting energy in that Blackout AR boom build. That was a lot of words, but suffice it to say, he used to give you 6 energy per second in support. Now it's 2, and that is a critical amount of energy to lose. So the AR doesn't really work with Flash AC the way it used to. The Dirge Song and reloading to get that explosion is kind of optimal. Again, links down below. This thing is a monster. One of the best weapons in the entire game. Not like one of the best pistols. No. One of the best weapons. You can charge up 2 million damage, 2 million damage, 2 million damage, 2 million damage. It's a 1-second reload. Absolutely crazy. This is full bias, by the way, but the Gravedigger, S tier weapon, awesome thing. No, okay. It's like an A tier AR, maybe top B tier. Really, really strong. It's quite good. Perks are great, and it can be fire only. I will die on that hill. If you spec this thing other than fire, so help me. So the Gravedigger, I mean to say, is a pretty good weapon. You should pick it up. It's the Halloween weapon for Save the World. All right, it's right there. Spectral Blade. This is one of the better melees in the entire game. I recently bumped it out of S tier down to A tier, and I do stand by that because if you don't have Affliction, it is really tough to recommend a melee. Affliction has made most melees really, really, really strong, but the Spectral Blade still has a lot of merit. It can be triple attack speed, triple crit damage, attack speed, triple crit damage. It can be a lot of good 6 perks, and it can be water. That elemental advantage gives it an edge over the Ravager, if you're not using the heavy attack. So there are a lot of weird, quirky, good things going for the Spectral Blade, and I have a video I've recorded recently that has not hit the channel yet that is a lunge build. You can spam the lunge over and over and over and over, and it is kind of a monster. It is really, really good. So if you haven't picked up the Spectral Blade yet, I highly recommend doing so, because if you that video will not go up before the Spectral Blade is gone. So you don't want to miss out. That's a good one to have. Metal Marauder, one of the strongest launchers in the entire game. It's locked to fire and physical, but it is really good. One of the strongest launchers in the game. You point this at a target, it'll be a lot less alive. I'm not buying this because I've already got 6 of them, and there just aren't 6 ways to perk this weapon, but very, very, very good. The next thing I want to mention is Arlene Iza. She is not quite red on my timeline. I typically make stuff red when it's like a must grab. You absolutely need it. It's really specific to whether or not you use melees, but then I've got the Spectral Blade that's red, right? Like I bumped it out of S tier and it's still red, so this is very subjective, but I will say, as the person who highlights stuff in that spreadsheet, she should probably be red, because if you're running melees in Toy Rocket Out or Blast in the Past, is a bit tricky because your melees typically aren't doing that much damage and you typically want your health to be very high, but if you are using like a crit hits cause an explosion or chain lightning or something, she is really, really good for healing you. She makes you darn near invincible in certain builds, and Arlene Iza alone solves all of your healing for a lot of melee builds. So she is a great pickup. Melees are very strong. Like I said, you don't want to be the guy who picked up the Spectral Blade because I said I got a video coming out soon, and then it's heavily relying on Arlene Iza to stay alive, but you didn't grab her either. I'm just saying, run Cram Session, get that gold, pick up these heroes, these weapons. It's a good thing to have. So Yeah, let's move on to the next thing I want to mention. This isn't like a great pickup, oh my god, incredible hero, but she is brand new. You know, extra damage versus dancing enemies, kind of fun. Aerobic Assassin was new this season. Not absolutely necessary to grab. That's a hard perk to take advantage of, but it is kind of nice. And then lastly, if none of those things I mentioned are items you were missing, you've got them all, pick up the hero loadout. It's a lot of gold. That's all your cram session gold, but hero loadouts are really nice for quality of life. I've made an entire video breaking down my hero loadouts and how I pretty much only need the first like 8 of these because I've got it refined pretty well. I have a very thorough video that talks through my philosophies completely, and you are capped at 20. So if you bought the hero loadout this season, you're done. You actually, if you've been buying them since launch, I should say, next one, you won't be able to buy it, supposedly. 20 is the cap. So kind of weird. Kind of weird. I don't need more than 20. I don't even know what I'm doing over there anymore. Like I said, I've got it figured out pretty efficiently. The next 12 of my hero loadouts are just fun builds. I don't even... Anyway, I don't need more, so I'm good there. Let's talk about the remainders and why I skipped them top down. So third rail, hardest hitting weapon in the game, super slow fire rate. It's just hard to recommend, but a lot of people really like this weapon. And if you're one of them, you should pick it up. In fact, I might as well buy an extra copy anyway. That is something that I have not been stocking up on. In fact, I haven't done the Brainstorm quest yet, but I don't have a bunch of copies of the Pulse Pounder, so I myself should probably finish that out. The Plasmatic Discharger. So it got fixed recently, where it is no longer affecting smashers at 7.5 times speed. It's now standard speed. It's really, really weak versus smashers and miss monsters in general. Right now, it is basically a 3-second charge time, slow firing orb that's really good for crowd clearing. It is kind of a cheaper, significantly slower deatomizer. You can still use it. It'll still kill crowds. It'll still do okay versus miss monsters. It's still doing, 250,000 damage if it doesn't crit every 1.5 seconds, which is a really low, it's a really slow tick speed. It'll do stuff. I just can't really recommend it anymore. Its fall from grace is hard. It went from top tier, game defining S tier weapon to like maybe B tier, C tier, I think. I emotionally ranked it C tier, but it should probably be B tier. It's just not anything special anymore. Candy Corn LMG is kind of awesome. Great stats, great perks. It can be triple crit damage, and oops, can only be physical. Yeah, that is a crippling weakness in the end game because you'll be doing half damage. Granted, physical does give you a 44% damage increase over typical elements giving you a 20%. So you can see the plus 20% damage is something we almost always ignore on the elemental side of things. And when something is physical, it's plus 44%, which is nice. It's just not enough. I don't even think I have a Candy Corn LMG here. Whoops. Oh, there you go. Yeah, plus 44. It's 24% extra, but it's still half that when you're firing an elemental target. So it's kind of like, I don't want to do the math. It doesn't matter. It's just not worth it. Bloodfinder AC, kind of cool. Anti-material charge, doing extra damage. Next season, anti-material charge is free in Ventures. That's fun. Not as viable as you'd think. So you can pick them up for the collection, and you could try them out. Have fun. I mean, the game is silly. Go do the thing, but not extremely viable in my experience. Sanguine Dusk, phase shifting to get health is cool. You get to be a vampire. Not incredible. Jonesy Bot, headshot damage, nice to have. It was bugged the last time I tested. I've heard good reviews from other people since then. You're welcome to give him a go, but headshots are pretty unreliable, and his 50% damage bonus is hard to activate because you need to have your health missing and you need to be hitting headshots. Weird to take advantage of that. Husk Grinder is a fine melee. I think it's spin to win. I'm not entirely sure. Blackblade, like I said, there's hope for it yet, but I don't know. Igor, super bad. Smoke Bomb energy cost, like I mentioned. Sarah Hotep's energy reduction for Dragon Slash is barely viable because of how expensive Dragon Slash is. 50 energy is a lot. Smoke Bomb? I don't know. I don't think I've ever found a use for him. I tried. I made a video on him, and it was like, whatever. Ragnarok, Seismic Smash, huge buff. Nice here to have. He is a mythic, and I don't even know what team perk he gives you, which is usually a bad sign. So he's a good hero you should have, but nothing exceptional. I don't like that they do this, by the way. All of these items are base game. None of these are special. Buying a Survivor is kind of nice. It's convenient, but a lot of newbies might be tricked into thinking these are rare and waste their gold on a very common weapon. The Bear and the Lightning Pistol is available almost every single day in missions. Why would Epic even trick you into spending gold on that? I don't know. But yeah. that is everything leaving with the end of the season. I almost went for 20 minutes, but I had a lot to cover here because it's a pretty good season. So that's it. Hope you guys didn't miss anything. Subscribe. This video will be up for a few days after the end of the season. I like people to be able to calibrate so they can look back on like, okay, so that just happened and now we're in Frozen Fjords. Cool, good. So maybe like a week after the next season, this video will go poof into the unlisted. So, you know, hopefully this was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy next season. Enjoy the rest of the season. Enjoy the rest of your day, okay? Get some good rest. Get some ice cream. I don't know. Oh, and code Mista if you guys buy anything at the shop.